One of the most common questions I get is, when are you going to work on the trail again? That's a great question. The answer is now. For those out of the loop, last summer I started work on part of a trail that I codenamed Stone Starlet. Over the course of a few months, we built the You Can Do It drop, the stump jump, and the step up to wall ride, among other things. At this point, the trail wasn't quite complete yet, but with travel restrictions lifted here in BC, Yuka and I headed out on the road to ride our bikes. The trail would have to wait until the winter to get some love again. But now winter has arrived, and with the relatively crappy weather, it's a great time to continue work on the trail. With many sections unfinished, we need to start filling in those gaps. Last summer, in the Badlands, we built a jump over a stump jump. The jump itself ended up working great, but the exit was still a bit of a mess. Alright, it's time to build a berm. So right over here we have the stump jump, and if you go down the trail here, it's just kind of an off camber. There's a big hole here, there's a stump. We gotta fix that. So we're gonna put a berm in, and it's just gonna go up the inside here. Otherwise, no flow, no fun, right? Time for a build lapse. A few logs and rocks provide good fill for the berm, with non-organic soil being used for the berm itself. With time, the berm slowly starts to take shape. This is what I love about trail building. You can see the results of your efforts in real time. Well, planning of the jump into the berm. And I think I want to put a lip right at the end of it. But before we get into that lip, we need to do some housekeeping on a feature just down below. The step up to wall ride was a massive undertaking. It took many weeks to plan, design, mill, and construct. But there's one thing we haven't done yet. Come up with a name for it. In the last trail build video, I asked you guys what we should name it. I suggested paying homage to the wall ride at Highland Bike Park called the Denture, which inspired this feature. Or maybe it could be named after Bobby, since his carpentry skills were instrumental in the construction of the feature. Or maybe the massive slash pile next to it could serve as inspiration. Well, there were a ton of great suggestions, with most acknowledging Bobby's work. But my favorite was the name Bobsled. The feature resembles a bobsled track, while also tipping the hat to Bobby. So from now on, we'll call it the bobsled. Below the bobsled, I've also been hard at work. And to be honest, this is the most problematic section of the trail. It's filled with a tangled mess of logging slash, which is just no fun to deal with. But that's child's play compared to the real problem here. We've got a major water issue here. So you can see there's actually water coming right out of the ground here. It must be flowing between the hard pack below and then all this duffy, loamy stuff. But yeah, it just comes right out of the ground. So I've made like a little creek here just to get it to flow a little better, and hopefully it doesn't soak up so much of the surrounding area. And yeah, because we're on a hill here, so it should all drain downhill. But it's just all this crap on the ground is just really holding all the water up. So in order to make this area rideable, it's important to remove that top layer of organic material, since it basically acts as a sponge and turns to mud. Underneath is non-organic dirt mixed in with clay, which will hopefully dry out over time. A few days later, snow. In order to control the flow of water, I dug a ditch which will help divert the water around the trailhead. Once complete, you can really see how much water is actually coming out of the ground. After a few days of rain, the snow had mostly melted away and I could work on the berm again. It was time to build a lip at the end of the berm. I don't want it to be massive, just something that you can pop off of to have a bit of fun. So now we've got our berm with a little lip at the end. But what I want to do is I want to ride it and see how far I can make it to know where to put the landing. But before we do that, there's a corner up there that needs a little touch up. So with the lip of the stump jump being right there, It's this corner right here that's just a little sketchy. Like, I like to keep it loamy when I can, but it's a little like your front target's deflected down here, and it's just not confidence inspiring when you want to hit that jump. So I'm just going to bench this out a little and fix that up, and then we should be able to test out our lip. It may not seem like much, but it's these little tweaks that will make the trail work properly. I really want the trail to inspire confidence and encourage progression. As many of you will know, the section of trail I'm working on is just one section of a larger trail. Up higher, Chris and Bobby have been hard at work putting in more features. Bobby has created something that I haven't seen before, an elevated pump track that he's named Eastern Wind. It traverses a swampy area that would be difficult to drain and would likely turn into a mud pit without some kind of bridge. I've never seen a bridge quite like this one though, and I have to say, it's a pretty cool solution to make this otherwise flat and wet area interesting. Chris has also been busy, and he built a massive bridge that traverses a creek. With a roller coaster at the start of it, it must have been a hell of an undertaking to build this behemoth. And it's really the Fraser Valley Mountain Bike Association that has made this all possible. They provide all their builders with tools to do the job, the nails to construct bridges and features, and they handle the bureaucracy around getting trails approved. And all of this is done by unpaid volunteers. In fact, it was Chris who on his own time got approval to work on this trail. However, in 2020, the FVMBA has been having some trouble financially. With events like enduro and cross-country races being cancelled due to COVID, their cash flow has taken a hit. And I imagine most trail associations around the world will have probably found themselves in the same situation. So if you can, support your local trails by becoming a member or making a donation. To finish up my jump, I wanted to try it out to see where the landing needed to be. The only problem, in order to get the right speed for it, I would need to hit the stump jump before it. After 2 months off the bike due to my broken wrist, I've been easing back into riding. I haven't hit anything this big since the summer, and it'll take a bit of warming up to convince myself it's okay again. Oh yeah, wrist still hurts. The "you can do it" drop further up the trail should be just the ticket, but that's pretty big too. After a few run-ups, it was smooth as butter. Yeah. So now I should be ready for the stump jump. It's also pretty intimidating. But after a bit of a pep talk to myself, you got it. Come on. All right, you're going. Come on. I was back in business. Yeah. Okay. You did it. Damn it, Eric. Now I could figure out where to place that landing. With the camera pointed at my intended landing zone, I placed a few flags as markers and sent it. Alrighty then. How far can I jump? Okay. Let's see. I was landing at about the third flag, so that's about where I should place the landing, about 10 feet from the lip. Let's dig. Alright, I got my landing finished. It's getting dark though. I really need to ride this before the sun goes down. So let's get to it. I cased it a few times. And cleared it a few more. As the trail settles in, it'll start to roll faster, and it should work just about right. With another feature on the trail complete, what's next? Well, that big rock on the trail is begging for something to be done to it. I'd love to jump it, but with stumps before and after it, that would be a bit tricky. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments below. There's still also a lot of work to be done in that wet section after the wall ride. I do have a bit of a plan for that, but plans are always evolving and changing, so we'll see about that. Most importantly though, I love working on the trail and it's become a bit of a passion project for me. I can't wait to see how it turns out. But until then, thanks for watching and stay gnarly.